Yeah, it's been really enlightening and interesting to hear other people's perspective on how they see the work. Like again, I said, like very grateful to hear everyone's thoughts on everything, because like I said, when I'm at these shows, I'm not really thinking of anything other than like just experiencing the moment at that concert. And it's definitely like revitalized something in me, especially like seeing the work printed. This is the first time I've actually printed the photos, the images at this size and to this degree. So it's revitalized. Right now, I'm looking forward to just staying very consistently going to shows and photographing. That's the focus. Yeah. So I would definitely like to like present the work in another exhibition, of course. Like that, it's been a pleasure doing this for sure.
Yeah, for me, the exhibiting part is just another part of the process. For me, it's not because I'm older. It's not, I don't think it's as critical for me to necessarily exhibit, because I realize now that what I do is really just for me. And that's why none of my pieces are for sale. It's not that I don't want, that I feel a need that I have to keep them, but it's just that I do the work in whatever way, whatever medium, whatever fashion happens to be where my head is at, or my heart is at that time. And so, you know, like for me to put together those pieces in there took a long time to go through what I had. And so the idea of setting up again for another show would just be like a layer of, to me it would be like selling the work again. It's like, I just do this because I need to do this. And, you know, if somebody expresses, you know, a really heartfelt desire or observation about a piece that's touched them in a certain way, I just give the pieces away. Because to me, that's what the work is for. I mean, I love the opportunity to show. You know, I thank Shar for letting me take that next step to actually see them hanging in a room, you know, by themselves, to see them in a different light other than, you know, in my studio next to a ton of other stuff that's all over the place. But for me, it's not anything that I need to have to do. Whereas I know for these guys, it is a big part of them developing as artists.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the reason I asked that is, again, it is multi-layered and how each of you have a very different perspective about that situation. So exhibiting does not mean for sale. Exhibiting is not necessarily just about selling. You know, it's about sharing the work that you created. But it also, I mean, it also can be about like, you know, Griff has a dream and a goal, and he'll probably get there. Because he's extremely dedicated and driven and full of vision, and that's how things happen. You know, when you have those ingredients for any endeavor, like, that's how things.
I mean, there's also pieces that I've been offered, you know, by collectors to buy, and I've turned it down because I want it to be seen correctly. I want people to see it in the world. You know what I mean? And it's. I'd rather keep it and show it, you know, to a certain extent than sell it and have it go to someone's private collection and not be seen, you know, by. Yeah.
Right, and then, I mean, but for Karen, I hope you do exhibit again to share your work. You know, then not necessarily.
One of the things that I forgot to mention about showing was that I had a number of former students come and see the show, and they've never seen my actual work. I mean, they see what I'm demonstrating or examples every once in a while in class, but they've never actually seen finished work of mine. And so my big question to them always was, so do you see me in these pieces? And for them to say, yeah, I see you in these pieces, was all the gratification that I enjoyed.
Well, everyone, thank you guys so much. Please, was there one more? I keep cutting everyone off. I'm sorry.
First off, I'm interested impressed that Sung Hee has followed her passion since she was 5. I wanted to be an astronaut or the President of the United States. But stick with either of those. Does it affect you in any way if somebody's viewing some of your art, you get the sense that they don't really understand it? And also, if you've got a sense that they don't appreciate it or don't care for it, does that affect you, or is that more on them?
I mean, for me personally, I just do it for myself. It's a matter of just having to express what's in my being, So I don't even expect people to understand what it is half the time, And so when they look at a piece, it's like just the way that it's made, the feelings that I'm going through, or how I constructed what's on the canvas. Is like I don't even think it's possible to be understood in the terms of how I made it, So I'd rather not even tell people why I made a painting half the time. Everything's up for interpretation and how it makes them feel. A lot of times I'll make something that I love, and I'm like, oh damn, this is a fucking masterpiece, and then people will not like it at all. So it doesn't affect me really. How about you?
I agree with that. Yeah, it's just the process. It's something, like you said, a necessity. Just something we need to do. And I think when you get to a point when if you're creating something and you're thinking about those exterior ideas of people's like what they want, like it to be, or what they want you to be, it can affect your art. And I think the best way, and I think you said this earlier, was being authentic, and because we all have something unique to share with the world. And as long as you're being authentic, you can't do any wrong.
I don't get so much the negative, like in your face kind of comments, but I will get people that are curious, like, why did you do this, or what is this? And I'm more than happy to explain my thought process, and whether they come away with it, liking it or not liking it or anything, like that. It really doesn't, it really doesn't matter. This is who I was at that moment, and this is what is the result.
And I think if you do it in an authentic manner,
Yeah.
it will impact somebody.
Yeah.
If there's 10 people that don't like it will hit somebody so hard that it doesn't really matter in the end.
And that's the reward.
Yeah.
And to each their own. Like, not everything is meant to be enjoyed. Everyone has their own taste, and it's completely fine.
Good question.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't want to cut anyone else off. Now feel free to stick around. Now that you have kind of a new understanding and perspective of the art, walk through again, hang out a little while, connect with the artists. Thank you guys so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Rick.
it. Thanks for coming.